Welcome Avi, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining. How are you doing?
Hey, thank you, Udit, for having me. I'm doing great and I'm excited to be here. We've gotten to know each other, and there's a lot I think we can, learn from each other and share with the audience as well.
Sure, sure. So let's talk about first how we met and how we are here. So if you want to tell the story.
Right. I love connecting with people on LinkedIn, and of late I've been active there because that's where most of the responses to my writing comes. And I stumbled upon this one post by Udit, and I really liked it. I found sometimes you just read something, you don't have to meet somebody, but you read something or you watch a video, and then you sense a connect in terms of the thought process or worldview. So that's what I noticed in Udit's post, and I added him with a personal note. Next thing I know, we are like supporting each other's content with valuable comments, and I jumped into his DM and asked him what's his. I mean, why is he doing what he's doing? And it felt like we needed to discuss this at length. So we got on a video call, and we realized that there are a lot of similarities, though we are probably a decade apart in age. But then uh, it felt like this can be conversation that can last even years because we are growing at the same time. So here we are, and that's when Udit asked me like, why don't you uh, come on my podcast? I said great idea.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. That's how networking work, na.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with first of all, let's introduce yourself. What do you do? And yeah, let's start with that.
My full name is Abhimanyu Singh. I live in Mumbai, India, and my career started with 8 years in IT operations. I jumped into the world of sales. I'm a self taught salesman. I struggled a lot at first, but then I outperformed my entire team within few months. And although sales was fun, but then it required me to be at 100%, 110% all the time. Like to get the
Hmm.
results I needed to 24/7 be at 110%, and that did not suit me. I wanted to sell. I love it more than anything else, but with leverage. So that's where marketing comes in. That made me switch to a marketing job, and within 2 years, I rose to head of marketing. I managed brand campaigns, the entire creative portion, basically writing campaigns, the ideation, the creative briefs, uh, team building, training the creative leadership in terms of the design, the writing, the video scripts. And at that point of time I started sensing the next big change in my career. My friends and some known people approached me saying, why don't you write for me? I did while I was still in a 9 to 5 job, 9 to 5 setup. I wrote newsletters. I did ghostwriting for CEOs and founders, and I slowly transitioned into uh, a time arrangement that's more suitable for me. And since the last few months now, I have very good relations with all the founders that I've worked with before, all the companies. And it's just that now at this stage of my career, I'm working from home and connecting the dots of what I've done so far in my professional journey.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very elaborate introduction. So you are now 30s, around 30s, right?
I'm 34.
34. Okay, early 30s. Yeah. So you started with a operation job at around 20s or early 20s. Yeah. Then you
Yes.
transition into sales and marketing, and currently, and you are also, you have also done ghostwriting for others, and now you are trying to write on LinkedIn and then building products, something like that.
Correct.
Yep. Yep. Got it. So why are you not working as a ghostwriter now, or you quit the ghostwriting thing right now?
I am writing as a ghostwriter now. I have clients at the
Okay.
moment, right?
Okay.
So it's the reason I don't say it with emphasis is it's not a permanent thing for me. I am
Hmm.
getting into it. I have worked with many clients before, and I have great testimonials as well. It's not my identity yet. It's just something that I have done in the past. So that is something I'm working on right now.
Hmm. Because you don't promote yourself as a ghostwriter on LinkedIn. That's why I've asked.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. My number one skill is copywriting, and it goes with marketing strategy. But ghostwriting, uh, so the funniest thing is that I was doing premium ghostwriting. There's this new terminology. I was doing premium ghostwriting without knowing that I was doing it, without knowing before I heard the word. So yeah, maybe if as the weeks and months pass, maybe that would be the new identity. Let's see.
Mm. Premium ghostwriting means?
It means that you charge, you're not just a writer. You understand the audience, you understand research, you understand the business side of writing, and
Mm.
you bring a lot of knowledge of the nuances to the table. Apart from just writing the content and sharing the draft, there are so many things that can challenges, limiting beliefs of the founder, about them wanting to share about themselves in public, about how the contracts work, what is their ideation process, how to capture their vision and personal quirks into the writing, how do they voice their frustrations. So these kind of things, you can write a great article and it may not work, it may not succeed, just because maybe they don't know how to do the networking, how to start business conversations with their target audience. So these are things that a premium ghostwriter brings into the picture, and they advise the founder on how do you create the offers, how do you systemize the entire offer making process, and things like that as well.
Mm. Got it. Means premium ghostwriter are someone who are managing the front end side and also few of the back end side also, like idea generation and then thought process of founders and something like that.
Right. So
That's why.
they don't
Yeah.
necessarily manage it, but then they give all the information and the consultation necessary for the founder to make that work.
Mm. That's why they are able to charge higher, right?
Right, absolutely. They charge premium rates as well.
Mm-hmm. How much? How is the difference? How many times they can charge? Maybe normal service versus this kind of service. And suppose let's do it something like that. Suppose there is a beginner ghostwriter who just want to one ghostwriter is want to only write their LinkedIn post, something like that. How much they can charge, and maybe a premium ghostwriter who is also beginner but who want to manage other side also. Then what's the difference? Maybe.
So if you look at sites, freelancer sites. So freelancer is the identity that does not command the high rates. Typically, it's a per hour charge, or it's for one article this much, or for X number of words these many dollars. So that's like pay as you, depending on how hard you work. But in
Mm-hmm.
terms of premium ghostwriting, it's very normal to have a $10,000 month, as you might see so many of them on LinkedIn or X. It's
From
very
single
normal to
client?
have. Sorry.
From single client?
From single client, from multiple clients. Finally,
Okay.
it's more like, what does the mindset of a premium ghostwriters, for example, I want to make $10,000 a month. Now
Mm-hmm.
whether I do it with one client or two or three clients, it won't matter so much. It's just that the point is, I can command whatever monthly income I want, and then I decide what value I give for that, rather than the other way around, where I say, oh, this person, this founder needs this, I work for 1 hour and they will pay me x dollars. So you decide your income, and then justify the value accordingly. And obviously, if it's such a big amount, there's no connection with the amount of hours you work. It's about the value you bring, and uh, what can the results mean for that founder. It could mean like a massive amount as well, even just 3 hours of work or something like that, because most creators are also systemizing and templatizing their work, and they make it into like courses and cohorts and things like that. So that's the value, you share what you need. The value to the other person could be huge, but it takes you very less time to transfer that value.
Mm-hmm. Means you're saying ki, you are not charging from your input, you are charging from your output. That's why.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is also called productized service. Now, if you are not charging per article or per post basis, you are maybe offering something like a 20 LinkedIn post plus 10 per day 10 engagement, and then package it in a way, then sell it, something like that.
Right. So let me give you an example. Uh, if you have an email course of 5 emails, right? Each email is roughly 1,000 words, and those a total of those 5,000 words help a founder realize or know all they need to know to make, maybe say, $100,000, for example. So you have already spent your time writing those 5,000 words, and the rest depends on how the founder implements it, whether they go
Hmm.
to 100 sources of information, or they will find the same thing and they will have to do only those things. So you know that they will make that much of money, so you just charge a fraction of that, and it's still like humongously high, and what you would call premium.
Hmm. But how you can know that that founder can make 100K from that?
Because if someone wants to create a system like a sales machine or a marketing, everyone wants a sales machine at the end of the day that gets in predictable inbound leads, right? That's the dream of
Mm-hmm.
any founder. Or if investors are following their content and reaching out to them, are you looking for to raise funding? That's the dream. So if you can set that machine in place, there are it's not a rocket science. It's just that you need to know some things in terms of technicals, and you need to know some things in terms of mindset. So you know
Hmm.
that there's nothing more to know. You reach a point where you realize that's all there is to it, that plus
Hmm.
the execution. So if there's no point looking at 100 sources if you're not executing. So y- I mean, that what else can you do? Like that's the only thing there is. So that's what justifies the value.
Mm-hmm. It comes from experience. You know now this word can make that much amount of money for them.
Right. So there are some things, like one is you optimize your profile in a way that creates interest or generates inquiries. You position yourself in a certain way. Like if you just say I'm a writer or a copywriter, that's not the same as saying that I help founders with this problem, like a specific problem, to achieve specific solution. That's the positioning part. What are you in terms of the founder's end outcome? So that's the positioning part. Then how do you network? You don't just pitch slap people on emails and DMs saying that, oh, I have this, can you help me out? You ask them, what they're interested in, what they're working on, do they have any big goals, and slowly you be interested in them first, and then transition into ways in which you can help each other or add value to them. So that's the relationship building aspect. Then of
Mm-hmm.
course comes like the content and the strategy. So okay, you can write a great piece of content, but how do you do it consistently every week? How do you what topics do you write on? How do you create enough of curiosity and interest, but still not solve the entire problem? Because then it's just free content, free value, which it doesn't help any writer. So these are all the, and I mean, you need to have content as a separate system by itself. You have like the strategy, the calendar, the, are you sharing opinions, are you educating people through your content about the problem? So there's like a entire bunch of ways in which you can write content, and there's like a system where you write, edit, publish, and all this needs to work, say like 3x a week, 5x a week. Depends on the platform also. If it's on X, then it's different. The style on LinkedIn is different. So then that all that comes under the content strategy. And then of
Mm-hmm.
course, like the entire mindset part, where every you see everything as a test. There's nobody, not even the biggest creator on any of these platforms, can give you a guarantee. There are some factors outside even their control. So everything is a test and change. You need to give it sufficient time. But then yes, if you work on the solution, on the right things for long enough, you will see a lot of signs in the positive direction, like almost immediately, like within a few weeks. So then
Mm-hmm.
it gives you you get clues in terms of how to keep going. And it's not a big deal to get I mean, inbound leads and stuff. It's easy once you get these things right.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So you said you don't have control in so many things, like how many followers you have or how many leads you can generate from that content. So what is a ghostwriting offer then? How you create offer? You said ki I will generate this much amount of lead, or what is the main offer?
I'll tell you what I do. I
Mm-hmm.
am not, everyone
Of
has a
course you should.
different style.
Yeah.
What I have done so far is I don't guarantee an outcome, but I guarantee the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that, like just like how I explained right now, I explain it to the client, and I say we will do this, and you need to do it all the time. I've got your back when it comes to content. You never have to worry about it. It will be all in your authentic voice. But you need, when you say personal brand or founder led brand, that means there's a lot of engagement from the founder as well. So work with me and we will follow these steps. If for whatever reason you don't like my methods, you don't believe they will get you to where you want to go, it does not suit your vision, I give you 2 entire weeks. At the onboarding stage, I will share everything with you, all my processes and everything. But within 2 weeks of working with me, if you don't see that alignment, just tell me, and no hard feelings. I will return your money. I write it in my offer. It's part of the guarantee in my offer. And the last thing I want to do is scam anybody. I don't want to keep your money if you don't benefit from my work. So this guarantee, so far I've never done a refund of this kind of money. Either in the beginning we decide we don't work together or we work together, but then should we not end up doing this refund, then I'm pretty sure our relationship will go like months ahead, maybe even years, I don't know. So that this is my process. It's finally I guarantee the process, and then I offer money back if they still feel they can't rely on me.
Hmm. Makes sense. Let's go deep into your process. Suppose, imagine I am your client, or maybe ideal client, and I have a course. Suppose I am selling it for $100, and in my LinkedIn I have only 1,000 followers right now. But I want more. I want to generate more lead from LinkedIn. So how you pitch me, or what is your offer? Suppose.
Okay, so I would first do a test, right? uh, this would take around 2 months. I would give you, for example, 20 pieces of content. The first
Okay.
five, like I would mix it up. Some would be around your personal story and your personal beliefs, of course tied back to your content pillars and the offer at the end. The second thing would be like maybe some advice and how to's, and connected with the outcome of the course for the students, the dream picture. Some, you need to educate your buyer, so it would be around that. And finally, if you have any testimonials, that would be great. Social proof selling is the most powerful, and the conversions happen over there. I don't invent any writing. I repurpose. I use versions of the best writing out there. So I have templates for everything, templates that I have created and some that I have borrowed from others. And I, based on these structures, I would give you 20 posts, and all the social proof posts I would keep towards the end, like the last five or the last 3 or 4. So you build up and warm up the audience, you connect with them, and then finally when it's time, when you add the social proof along with screenshots and stuff, that's when the enquiries roll in. So let's say after these 20 odd posts, you see some results. Maybe you start getting inbound leads already into your DMs. Maybe that doesn't happen, but then you get a lot of middle funnel engagement. Or maybe people just, we analyze your DMs or we analyze your posts
Acha,
and see.
sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. What is middle bound engagement?
Middle funnel engagement, like people are like,
Okay.
okay, your course costs $100. Do you have a free course where I can try it out first? Can I try it out for few days?
Okay.
Or do you have a lead magnet, like a PDF that guides me before I can
Hmm.
take the course? Can we hop on a video call so I can understand better? You're at the starting stage, right? You've not yet built any funnel, so there's no sense in
Hmm.
creating an entire business around it before getting any response. So
Hmm.
we will analyze that, are people responding to you at the awareness stage, or at the inquiry stage, or like more details, or at the conversion stage. So this would tell us everything we need to know about what to do in the coming weeks and months. And this I love this process because it never happens that there's no feedback at the end of this. It's always like one of these. And that's when we have like a brainstorming session. I would invite you. Let's get on a video call. Let's brainstorm and plan out what to double down on for the coming
Hmm.
months. This would be the strategy. And by then, if you are like talking enough, if you're posting regularly, you will be actively talking to at least 10 people by the end of this exercise. I mean, actively through DMs, or like how we spoke on a video call.
Hmm. Makes sense. And in the first 2 months, you will charge maybe lower, and then if that works, then you will charge maybe higher, right?
I wouldn't charge lower. I would
Okay.
I would say that this is the cost of my time, because I maybe if I was doing it the first time I would have charged lower.
Hmm.
But since
Hmm.
I already have results with previous clients, I know my process,
Hmm.
and I would let you know about the process beforehand. So I would charge the same amount, and if you don't agree with it or you don't like the process, then unfortunately, within 15 days you can let me know, and then in that case it's not a good fit.
Yeah, and then you will get money back in the 15 days.
Yes.
Cool. 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 So in the discovery call itself, you say the process, and then you explain the whole process in the discovery call itself, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's
Okay.
about
Makes
educating,
sense.
so it's not like you just get leads and you get new customers. People
Hmm.
first become a lead, then they become a
Hmm.
customer, which is like they buy
Hmm.
your products, then they become a
Hmm.
client, which is they buy your service. Do they want your
Hmm.
done with you service? Do they want your done for you service? All these matter. So this kind of feedback lets us know exactly what we need to do next in terms of promoting your course.
Hmm. 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 Makes sense. So suppose you want now you are starting out and you want leads through inbound. So do you prefer inbound in the beginning, or do you prefer outbound first and maybe build testimonials and then go for inbound?
It's different for everyone. I
Hmm.
personally don't like outbound,
Okay.
although it is important. It should be a part of everyone's strategy. I
Hmm.
like inbound, so personally I preferred to wait till the inbound started. But it's perfectly fine, like some others, if they feel they need to reach out. So they're like I mentioned, like you first speak about their interests and then don't just pitch immediately. So there's also a like proven scripts and processes where you approach people in a non-sleazy way, like a value first way, like as if you're already their consultant or advisor, for free. And that's when they're more likely to actually convert. I wouldn't depend on that entirely, but that should be a part of everyone's strategy, especially when they're starting out.
Hmm. Then without testimonial, how you can get inbound? Through your content only?
Through your content, so there are two ways. This I love this question because
Okay.
this was my question way back.
Hmm.
There are ways that I think are the best. One is you are the testimonial. So
Hmm.
if you've done something by yourself, for maybe not for a client or a high ticket client, maybe you've just written something for someone before, for a friend or something.
Hmm.
Showcase that, talk about what you did, why you did it. If you wrote your content in a certain way, explain that in your content. Oh, look, I did this is why this matters. So people know that you may not have worked with someone before, but you know your stuff,
Hmm.
right? That's one way of showing credibility. And if you get an inbound inquiry, just show what you've done. Just be upfront, like, I'll be straight with you. I've not worked with people before, but here's my process. This is how I know it's the best process, because I got it from so and so creator. I got it. This is how it worked over there. I'm simply going to use this and adapt it for you in this way. So people get that confidence, because if they don't come to you, they will end up paying like a massive amount of money and go to some other creator, which all there's a reason why they're coming to you in the first place.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
about convincing them that, look, I'm giving you the same thing that so and so person is doing. I'm
Hmm.
just like using the context of your business. So
Hmm.
if they buy in, if they understand that, oh, it's actually the same thing, like through common sense, so they're more likely to trust you. That's one way. And the second way is, when I say you are the testimonial, it's like you can explain what you've done. Right for your future self is the concept. So uh, if you were working for a client, what would you do? If you were, like, you asked me hypothetically, if you were doing a course with me. So just find a friend like me or like anyone else you're connecting with,
Mm-hmm.
and have a discussion like this, you know, a video which says, oh, I'm promoting this course, what would you do? Explain it in the video. These things add a lot of credibility. I personally don't like working for free. I've done it once in the past, like maybe 2 years ago, but I wouldn't advise anyone to do that. There should be some value for the time, even though that's low.
Mm. And maybe add a risk reversal offer.
Risk reversal offer or charge a low amount, that's fine. Like, you know, it's more like a token amount, but free really undervalues your knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So build your own case studies and create content around that, and then get inbound. This is the method almost.
Right, right.
Build your case studies. It doesn't mean कि you have to make a lot of follower, a lot of engagement, right?
Absolutely not. So I'll tell you something interesting I'm doing. Like, you know, there are some people on LinkedIn who in my DMs write like, I love your writing. Can you help me with
Mm.
this? I actually, you know, the other day I'm going to be in my upcoming post, I'm going to be sharing a screenshot. So this girl is a marketing executive at a leading agency, and she's been following people for the longest time, but she never published on her own. And I simply actually I noticed her liking, reacting to like 4 or 5 of my posts in a row, like old posts.
Wow.
So I just pinged her and said, you know, I'm not pitching or anything, but if there's anything I can help you with, let me know. She said, she told me this problem. We got on a 10-minute video call, and I
Mm.
showed her my lead magnet, my writing guide, and I realized that actually it was that like I'm feeling weird to post. That was a problem. So I just told her like for few minutes, I said like it's no big deal and just do it. And after 5 such posts, it's going to be nothing for you. The next day she published, and like she has like 5x more reactions and engagement than me as well, and she does it every day now. And she wrote me a public testimonial, which I didn't realize first. Later when I saw it, I screen grabbed it. I didn't charge her money, right? And she didn't even use like the tips from my writing guide. She turns out she already was good at writing. So I took the screenshot and I asked her, "Is it fine if I use this?" So in my upcoming post, I'm going to share how I built a connection. I'm going to show the screenshot of how she thanked me for encouraging her. I'm going to mention that I didn't charge money. I'm going to mention that this was the issue she had, and this is how I told her all that I know about about solving this problem. Now this is a testimonial, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to work with a big ticket client as the only way to build trust. People are going to trust me even with this. So if I show my process, I show my contract, I give a guarantee, and I show even like 4 or 5 of these, that's also trust. What's the worst?
Mm.
They'll get back their money from me.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Makes sense. So basically, start with creating content and sharing your thoughts and that things. Yeah. And you prefer LinkedIn most, right, for ghostwriter?
Yeah, I do email sequences and LinkedIn. These are my two strengths. This I do
Okay.
medium to long form writing. So 400 to roughly 800 words is between. This is my sweet spot.
Mm. And those are for founders, right?
Founders, CEOs, coaches, agency owners, but I typically write just founders because I've not worked with like so many categories yet.
Because everyone is also comes under founders, na? CEOs, coaches, and all
Right,
almost.
right.
Yeah, makes sense. There is I have a doubt that there is two type of audience you can. One is this things founders who want your ghostwriting service mostly because they don't have time to learn and then implement that mostly. And on the other hand, you can have creators or learners who want to learn writing and then comes into ghostwriting, or maybe creating their own content. So these are two separate things. Maybe those, the students who want to learn, they need courses or coaching, they don't need your ghostwriting services. On the other hand, the founders, they need mostly ghostwriting services. Now I think you're trying to do both almost, because I think you mentioned there is a coaching thing, something in a post, coaching or consulting something last day, or maybe I forgot. Or you're also building products now, so you're trying to move this side also. So how you manage that thing in content, because then those two are separate now almost.
This is an awesome question, and
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought it up. This will be super valuable for your audience. Okay.
for me also.
Of course, yeah. Every writer has a writing process. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have certain writing structures. I have a CTA bank. I have a hook library. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I get a client who is a founder, I am helping someone who needs who needs to save time and money. So that's my service. All right. But if someone wants to learn writing, or if someone who's never posted before, or who wants to improve their content strategy knowledge or whatever, it's the same thing. It's my
Okay.
process that I break pieces off and share it as a free guide. So the two free guides I've created now till now. One is the copywriting guide, and the second is the content strategy guide. It's simply what I do. I've just taken a part of it, put it in a separate, document, Notion document, which is a product, and share the link. The next post that comes up, if I'm talking to a founder, the post is in a certain way. If I'm talking to someone two steps behind me, the post looks different. It's just the CTA link is different. So I'm helping founders, and I'm helping two people two steps behind me. So whether it's a free product or I charge, let's say tomorrow, the market value of my lead magnets are $50 each. So let's say tomorrow I become a bigger creator and I start charging for that. uh, that's my digital product. That's my advice to people who are like getting started. So I can make money both ways. But the information that I'm giving out is the same thing. I'm not the what I want you to notice here is I'm not creating anything new.
Mm.
I'm just sharing bits and pieces of my process. And these are so many, there's so many options. I can share a list of hooks that I have tried. I wouldn't say viral hooks, but then I would say this is what I've tried and that's worked. I can share content strategy, methods, repurposing guides, post structures, CTA library, how to build an offer, how to build a funnel. These are things that I'm applying for myself. So as I'm applying them, I'll just make them into smaller products.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So you are saying that when you are teaching something, that can also work as an authority or credibility for the founders who want ghostwriter, and also that can help the students who want to learn.
Right, absolutely. So if, for example, if I'm going to say that every piece of content you write is usually among these categories, like an opinion or how to or personal story, I have actually a link to my own post that I published some time back, and I've shared it in
Okay.
my guide.
Hmm. Hmm. Makes sense. Okay. So here I have two questions. One is, you mentioned you need to, there is a difference between two kind of posts. You just change the post, like for sometimes for ghostwriting the other thing, and sometimes for the product wala thing. So what is the difference between those posts?
The difference is the audience. That's
Hmm.
the major difference. Both require a certain amount of authority and conviction in, like, I know my shit kind of a tone. It's
Hmm.
just that when you speak to a founder, you need to talk about those pain points. For example, like you said, you don't have time to do anything else. You have everything but the time.
Hmm.
That's why I'm here for you. And when you're speaking to someone who's new, it's like usually the pain point is this, I understand by talking to people. So the pain point is like, I don't know what people will think, I don't have ideas, I don't know, English is not my first language.
Hmm.
So I mean, how do I use AI? Should I not? So these become the pain points. So it's like the persona is different, and then you address the pain points differently. But otherwise the writing skills per se, the writing process and writing editing, everything is the same for both apart from these things.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Just subtle difference. So another question I have, yeah, the another question is, you said when you become some big creator, then you will charge for these products. So why not small creators like us can charge, or why not they charge for their products? Or mostly people prefer services this time, but why not they charge for their products? What do you think on that?
There's no rule as such. We can charge. Anybody can charge. It just depends
Yeah.
on if people bite it or not.
Hmm.
We can charge.
But
It's a free
uh-huh.
market.
Uh-huh. But why we can't charge na? We don't charge na actually.
Right. So let's say I the free product that I have, I put it out there for $50.
Hmm. So you have tried this for $50?
No, I've not yet tried it because I just
Okay.
finished making it less than a month ago. But
Yeah.
it's a good idea actually, and I believe that you, there's no rule that says that I people won't pay me. I can put it
Hmm.
out there. If they pay me, then that's great. Why not? But if they don't, then I will fall back on this and build my authority on the side till a point where $50 seems like peanuts for them for the kind of value.
Hmm. So you are saying the authority or credibility is missing in the beginning. That's why they don't prefer.
Yeah. So when if you notice like when if in, I don't know if you bought any digital products before, but whenever
Yeah.
I buy
I
digital
have.
products, I first
Hmm.
check the person who I'm buying
Hmm.
from. Are they like
Hmm.
among the best? If they're the best, are they affordable? If they are affordable, at least let's say I can't afford the best. Okay. Uh, can I find free resources on the same thing to warm myself up? If not, suppose I'm even willing to pay, the person who I'm paying, have they achieved those results that I want? Now if you look at my LinkedIn profile, nobody dreams of being at 1600 followers, right where I'm at right
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
It might be enough to get inbound leads as I've experienced, but people don't know
Hmm.
that. People think that if I have 20,000 followers, that is something I can aim for. So all factors kept the same, someone with 1,600 followers and 20,000 followers, you will go for that one. Someone who
Hmm.
seems like they have a very like well structured funnel, someone who seems like they're getting a lot of testimonials. So it's like a momentum. So as I'm doing this, all these things that I mentioned that I'm doing, I'm collecting it as I go. I'm building the momentum, I'm building the goodwill, I'm building the relationship with people. And like my followers increase quite with very less effort, quite steadily. It increases every day. I get about 10 to 20 followers every day, which is like okay for me, like considering I spend barely like half an hour or 40 minutes on LinkedIn per day. So as it grows, maybe in a year or year and a half, it would make sense for someone. I would reach that point where it would make perfect sense for someone to just pay me and get started in no time.
Hmm. So you're saying followers is the only thing to show credibility?
That's one of the things. So people check
Okay.
the followers, people check the engagement, people check, do you,
Okay.
what kind of authority are you?
Okay.
Have you been in this industry for a while, or have you just like jumped into this field like 2 months ago? Are you figuring out things yourself, or like it's not really a list of check boxes. It's more like a subconscious thing, like you either get that conviction or you don't when you look at someone. So I may be the
Mm,
greatest guy. I may have had I may have solved hundreds of problems and made a ton of money in my life, but on LinkedIn I'm zero. On
mm,
whichever platform I go, let's say X or whatever, for that audience I'm nobody.
mm,
And that's one of the major challenges that I've been trying to work through, is transfer my credibility and my relationships, which I have offline, on to try to show the same thing on through the social media like LinkedIn.
mm-hmm. And how are you trying to do it? By creating content?
This, like whatever we've discussed, content is one
Yeah,
part, then talking to
engagement.
people, creating products, explaining how I do my work, explaining the work that and customers and testimonials that I've already done. This is the step by step process.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So we have discussed about your ghostwriting and these things, and now let's talk about what kind of ghostwriting services in your mind currently, or how many what there's like LinkedIn strategy and then email marketing, and how many are there ghostwriting services in your mind right now?
The two most common, I've not researched so much, but if you notice, whenever you come across a new creator, they will have some lead magnet which directs you into their email list, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's where they pitch you uh, in a sequence. So there's on the
Mm-hmm.
first day, third day, fifth day, they send you emails. Usually these are just like, okay, I have this offer within basic, apart from the free thing that you've already downloaded to get in the list, they will pitch you the low ticket or the middle ticket offer. But what's common is, I've noticed some of them use free courses. So it's like a
Mm-hmm.
5 day, for example, 5 day email course on how to get leads, how to build your personal brand. It has 5 pillars, and on day one you will understand this, the day two, day three. So it's, you're educating people, and then at the bottom of every email is the link to either your low or high ticket product. And if you get that right, if the person gets the value from the free stuff that you talk about, they will come back and pay for the the more expensive stuff. So it really depends, like we spoke, it's about this is the business side of writing. This has nothing to do with
Mm-hmm.
writing. So it's about how you structure
Mm-hmm.
the offers.
Mm. Makes sense.
Sometimes
So
people don't
yeah.
don't take action for like months or years, but
Mm.
suddenly they maybe 1 year later they will jump in and buy.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So we're talking about courses. So here, most people think, especially beginners, that courses are scam. They don't provide value, or what I can get from paid courses. There are a lot of YouTube videos and free stuff is there. So what do you think about courses? I am also writing a post on that today. So what do you think about that?
I think in every industry there is a bit of scam, right? I think 10% at least in every industry is scam. If there's skepticism from people, that's totally fine. You can't blame people, because we are also those people who suspect others of scam. So in terms of courses, it's about that's the whole point of content marketing, is to build that trust. And it's like the objection handling, right? If you
Mm,
picture a one-on-one sales, since I'm from a sales background, I understand this. Just picture there's a prospect in front of you and saying like, why should I buy this course? Why can't I do it on Google and YouTube and stuff? So it's very simple. You're not selling them the course, you're selling them the time savings, the energy savings. I've done that, literally. If you, the same thing that you get online, you can actually show the client that if you look here, these are the resources that I've used. but you can go and do this by yourself. But I've condensed it into this, which will help you do it in 5 days. I've made it actionable, digestible. You can read it and apply it over there. So it's like 1 month versus 5 days. You choose. I'm not even going to
Hmm.
claim that I'm giving you something great. I'm claiming that I'm giving you what you want in the way you want it.
Hmm.
And you can do this around the content. So on the first day, when people see your landing page, they're not going to think you're any different from anybody else. But then if that's why we have content strategy, where people end up, you pop up on people's feed, and then they see, and then you're talking about their problems, and then they see, oh, you have this approach. So then they're more likely to trust you, obviously. And out of 100 people, your percentage of buyers will definitely go up.
Hmm. Makes sense. And I think in India, this culture is coming soon. I don't think India, they mostly prefer free stuff in India, but in US, creators make most courses and all. But India, में ज़्यादातर creators are mostly focused on influencer marketing and those things mostly. But now they are coming towards courses, I think so. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it if that, like they say, audience personas, right? So if it's a
Yeah.
kind of, if I'm a kind of person who believes in investing in myself, then it won't be a problem. So anyway, you won't spend your energy convincing people who only care about free stuff. There are enough people who want to invest in themselves, and they believe that if I pay, I will get more value.
Hmm. And do you think this number is too less in India right now?
Not really, not really, because it's a personality type. Like, I'm
Hmm.
a driven person. I'm an
Hmm.
open-minded person. I'm a learner. So if
Hmm.
I this is a if there are others who are like this, and there are a lot of people like this. I don't know about the percentage, but there are enough people like this.
Hmm.
It's
But
not something
purchasing
I
power
would
is also,
think about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, repeat
uh,
once.
I was saying it's not something I would really bother about. There are enough people who want to like upgrade themselves all the time.
Yeah, makes sense. But do you not think there is also a thing called purchasing power? People, if people don't have enough money to spend, mostly in India, suppose people are making uh, 30,000 a month. Okay, because mostly people are less than that or around that 30, 50,000 a month. Then how much money they should spend on self learning, and there's a thing na, then you can't just spend 10,000, 20,000 on every single month on courses or coaching program. So I think that's the thing in India mostly because of the purchasing power. But yeah.
There are some digital products. When you go to the, let's say you it's $100 cost, for example. You go to the
Mm-hmm.
landing page and the checkout page rather, and there it shows like, do you belong to a different country? For purchasing
Hmm.
parity pricing, you click a button and it translates it into a much lower amount. So the pricing
Oh.
factors the purchasing parity thing. So I mean, that's one way
Uh-huh.
to do it. But then you need to understand the market, and then maybe just price it or promote it differently as a different offer in a different market. That's the most common sense way. Like, if you don't want to be too fancy, that's the simplest way.
Hmm. It's all depending upon your audience persona. Yeah. So yeah, we have talked about so many things there, and now let's move on to your day-to-day life wala thing. So you are right now, what kind of activities you do, and what is your most top priority project right now?
Okay, so my this is my home office. This is the second room in my house. I live with my wife, and we are married. We don't have children yet. Uh, if you see these plants over here, just behind
Mm-hmm.
that is a gym and swimming pool, and it's I go there. I walk around. There's a big garden, so what I do is I sit here, write, do my work for a few hours, and I step out. I either walk or run. I go to the gym, and I mean, this is my day to day life. I keep moving between this and this, and I something you may not have known, I perform improv comedy live. I perform on stage. I do
Okay.
events, and I conduct workshops, improv comedy 101. Uh, this Sunday, I'm doing my second workshop. My workshop last Sunday was sold out completely. That's something I do on
What
the
was
side.
what was that actually a stand up comedy type of thing or?
Improv comedy is like theater. It's just that
Okay.
there's no script. So you land up on stage, and the audience decides what who you are, where you are, and then you
Okay.
start performing with other fellow
Uh-huh.
improvisers.
Cool. Continue. Yeah.
Right? It's an art form, and I
Yeah.
train people in how to like go from beginner to expert in that. So that's something, a passion project on the side. Apart from that, what was the other question you asked? Apart from the day-to-day routine,
High priority project.
high priority project. I don't take all this for granted. All this entire lifestyle that I described, it's not as rosy as it looks, and it's not permanent yet. So the high priority project is to make it as permanent as possible. uh,
Hmm.
do what I'm doing right now, everything that I've told you is just since the last 2.5 months. I have understood this only now. Okay. So
Hmm.
clearly, I have a long way to go. And clearly, none of this is structured or permanent yet. So the project is to do more of what I'm doing that we spoke about, and make it. I don't know. It might take 2 years. It might take 5 years. I have no idea. But I'm totally okay with the long run, and zero expectations. I just love what I do, and that's the whole. The priority is to make it as structured and permanent as possible.
Hmm. So your high priority project is the lifestyle you are currently in. You want to maintain that basically the solopreneur lifestyle.
I mean, once you work for 10, 11 years in an industry, you you're you can be one of two types. One is you're like those high ambitious types. You want to become the CEO of like an entire region or an entire country head of startup or a corporate. The other type is where you want to get a better balance between your effort and the amount of money you make. uh,
Mm-hmm.
you want timings to be more on your own terms. So I'm in that second category. And uh,
Hmm.
marketing has so many things, right? There's performance marketing, branding, digital, ads. I'm removing, may have said this many times, I'm removing all those things that I would do before in marketing that I'm not passionate about, and stick to just writing. So this is the entire process of get focusing on what I absolutely love and removing everything else.
Hmm. So you love most writing right now, only
I
writing.
love it. Even when I'm not working, I write sometimes. See, I'll show you. I take some of the best copy out there and I write them with my hand. I
Hmm.
do this just for fun while having coffee. So clearly, I like it a lot.
Wow. You learn from your own life and then transition into that. Not like a 20-year-old kid who is learning from other content and then seeing their lifestyle and then transition into that.
Yeah, so I didn't get like dollars in my eyes looking at some solopreneur working on
Hmm.
their laptop from a beach or something. It was
Hmm.
actually a very practical and real day-to-day logistical thing that made me make the move. And then of course I saw that, oh, these are how other people do it. And they were like, oh,
Hmm.
9 to 5 is like jail and you're in the chains of 9 to 5. I didn't feel that so much. It was just a little bit of timing kind of adjustment. It was not it's not like it was killing me or something. I was
Hmm.
pretty
Makes sense.
fine with 9 to 5. Maybe if I was like 20 or 25 years old, it would have not made a difference to me, like even the timing.
Hmm. So if you are starting your career now, like 20 22 years, then you would prefer 9 to 5 than solopreneur wala thing or? solopreneur wala thing?
I won't be able to say because this is entirely based on my skills. So would I have
Hmm.
such good writing skills at that time? I don't know. Probably I would be like
Hmm.
learning and improving still at that time. So all this writing process that I spoke about, how I approach, how I have like structured ways of doing everything. I've built it over the years. So I started,
Hmm.
my interest in copywriting started in 2020. So I've it takes time. It takes time. Like if I had to write a post, if I have to write a post today, it will probably take me half an hour, like everything combined, apart besides editing. But back then, maybe it would have taken me an entire day or 2 days. So
Hmm.
maybe my like I've gotten good at it and efficient at it. So that's why I'm able to do it. But maybe back then I would want to learn and I wouldn't be in a position to make the switch.
Hmm. So you think then when you are starting, mostly focusing on learning by a job and also doing this on a side, and then when you are comfortable, you can slowly transition into whole solopreneur wala thing.
Right, right. Income matters. Learning from any available source on the planet is important. So all these factors, all these things happen when you're like at the starting stage, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Makes sense. But do you not think if you suppose if you are joining a job or a 9 to 5, then your learning can be constant into a particular thing, not you can't get too broad until unless you are working in startup, of course. But if you are working in a MNC or something like that, then you are only going to good in one domain. You're not, your holistic overview is not going to be too improved. So do you not think that?
I wouldn't be the right person to answer that. I'll tell you why. Because
Hmm.
I'm not talking about three different jobs or three different roles. I've been in three different industries.
Hmm.
I've been in IT, I've been in operations, I've been in sales, which was in
Sales.
education technology. I've been in marketing, which
Okay.
was in fintech and insurtech. I've written software. I used to code. I used to be a product manager. So my path is not the same as what someone else might take. I have like a 360 approach. That's how my brain works. But having made like so many transitions, if i one principle if I could share with someone would be like don't let yourself get into one category. And even if you're in an MNC job, the access to 100 other things is so easy. So you can always
Okay.
understand how another lifestyle works, how another skill works. Try it. Go
Hmm.
try public speaking, try writing, try any soft skill or technical skill is no matter what, whether you're at home or as at an MNC or startup, you can always explore it. You may not have the time to do it in detail, but you can. It's more, there's more than enough time to explore something if you're really like hungry to know.
So yeah, now let's talk about your routine kind of thing. What do you do in morning and then slowly in to the night?
Okay, I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I have coffee. Then I read some books which are not connected to work, some
When you wake up?
inspiration. Sorry,
When you wake up, early morning or what?
6:30, 6:45,
Okay.
decently early. And
Mm-hmm.
I read something connected with inspiration or like self help for like 10 15 minutes. I step out with my earpods for a walk outside. Usually, I listen to walking meditations, and I these go typically from 20 minutes to 40 minutes. By the time I'm
Okay.
back, I'm sweating, and the walking meditations even show you like how like okay, breathe in now, hold now. So it's like fully guided.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
it's a complete breathwork thing as well, along with affirmations and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And by the time I come back, I'm bursting with ideas that I can
Mm-hmm.
write, that I can do for that day to improve the business side or the writing side. And come back, I note it down. Usually this happens. Sometimes most days, maybe 4 times a week, I come back and do yoga from this one. I'll share it with you. It's a YouTube channel that I've been following. Amazing yoga like lessons. And then I start my work. My This is the most productive when my brain works best at this time of the day till around 11:30 or 12. I write my posts either for myself or my client, depending on what is the stage of completion. And then I don't eat anything till almost lunchtime. Then I have a kind of snack or something. I take a nap, and then I get to my calls which are connected to my the company where I'm associated with, like my previous company. So I do some coordination calls, whatever they need. Like my team is there, so either something they are stuck at, they report like whatever progress they have. If they are doing a campaign, anything I need to interfere. That goes on till around maybe 5 or 6 p.m. And after 6 p.m., I don't have any plan. It's just generally random. Either I go for a walk with my wife, or my parents come over and we meet and I read something. I'm reading this book called 1984 by George Orwell. So I sit and read that. And recently I read a book called Keep Going by Austin Kleon, which is super helpful for anyone who is on the creative or artistic side. And I wrote a long post about what I learned from it recently. So yeah, I do things like this, and maybe I plan for the upcoming improv event. I create the Canva posters, put them, circulate them around with my group. So I do these kind of things, and then I watch something. I have dinner with my wife, watch something on Netflix, and go to sleep. That's my day.
Wow, cool. So chill mostly after afternoon. It's almost chill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. So then your priority is mostly sustaining your lifestyle currently, not making more money or making more things.
Right. So I don't know when this lifestyle will uh, start. I mean, continue or end. So my clients who I'm working with, there may be a time when I finish working with them, or maybe the project reaches its end of its shelf life.
Hmm.
So I've not actively tried to source new clients, like go for all out marketing, other than a few posts here and there. uh, I've not made an offer structure. So it depends, like what's the next step. I don't know how long this lifestyle will last, but then yeah, I I will see how I can kind of make it as this is the ideal. So ideally keep it this way. That's the goal.
Hmm. And then your purpose is then what is your purpose man? Well, mostly लोग बोलते हैं कि what is your purpose and all. So what is your whole purpose of life, or maybe what is the big picture thinking, what do you want to do in next 10 years or something like that?
Big picture thinking, if I had to put it very simply, I see myself even 10 years from now writing for money, but not needing the money. So
Okay.
writing, obviously get paid for it, but not needing that money. That This is my best definition of the end game of all this. I love writing because
Hmm.
it's not writing. Writing is just the medium, but then it's the ideas, like everything that's going on in other people's brains, whatever's going on in my brains. It all comes together and connects, in such a crisp way when you write or write in public. So that's what I absolutely love about it.
Hmm. Your big picture thinking is you want financial freedom, but you want to do the job you like most. That is the main thing.
Yeah, on the job, as in like on timings
Writing.
that are suitable to me, and of
Yeah.
course writing. Yeah,
Job means writing here.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah, yeah.
Cool. So Do you have any specific numbers for your financial freedom? Like लोगों का होता है कि मुझे 5 crore चाहिए, 10 crore चाहिए, something like that. Or what is how you think कि, okay, I am now financially free?
Um, so I don't have financial. I mean, I'm not in a. I would say I'm kind of financially free already. Luckily, I in my
Mm-hmm.
previous career, I gathered a bunch of. I did the right things basically in my earlier part of the career, so I'm stable. And if, like what people say, right, get your insurance, get your emergency fund in place, basics of personal finance, I have all those in place. So I don't really need to worry about finances. It's just a matter of stability. I don't have, like, it's not like I want to make a 1 million by this year and 10 million by this year. There's no such goal as that. I've, in the last 2 years, I've become the kind of person who really wants to kind of enjoy. It sounds too like mushy, but enjoy every moment and love what you do, more mindfulness. I'm going into that kind of zone, looks like.
Hmm. And what do you mean by mindfulness here?
Mindfulness, like be able to slow down, be able to things, whatever your goals are, right? The way I see it, that things take the time that they take. So if, let's say,
Hmm.
if something doesn't happen in 1 month or 1 year, it could happen in 2 years, but then, or maybe 5 years, but then not enjoying the process just because it takes 1 year instead of 1 month, according to me, that should not be a source of anxiety or beating yourself up, right? I've done all these burnout jobs in the earlier kind part of my career, so I've gotten
Mm-hmm.
a lot of wisdom because of such situations. I've worked for free, I've had toxic bosses, I've had good bosses. I've done sales where I didn't know how to sell, where I had zero. I 1 month I had zero sales in my sales job, and this was before I started performing well. So I understand the value of this. What is peace of mind? What is having your own purpose in place? You use the word purpose, which I really liked. So have the value of having your own purpose in place is like unbelievable. It's way beyond your work or your there's so much more to work than people sorry, there's so much more to people than work. And so yeah, just by mindfulness, I mean just the ability to slow down and let everything flow as it flows. Like all these things I spoke to you, I keep re-emphasizing to remind myself also. It can take 5 years, no big deal. Like just go with the flow. Everything will be fine. There was this, really interesting article I came across that 90% of Warren Buffett's wealth, there was like a graph of his
Mm-hmm.
net worth.
Mm-hmm.
90% of Warren Buffett's wealth came after he crossed the age of 50. 50.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Makes
where the
sense.
compounding effect took place. So if someone makes you think that you're 20 and you've not yet done this, you're 30 and kya hi kiya tune life mein, you're 35. These are all like stupid benchmarks in like self-help books and hustle. You said hustle culture.
Culture.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
all like it's fuck it, man. Like if you're not having a good time, you're already a loser.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Like people says ki I am 17-year-old and I am making $10,000 a month. So yeah, this feels, I don't know. Matlab, why, first of all, define why you need $10,000 a month. Then take steps to get there. Na?
Finally,
Uh,
everyone's working for freedom. Everyone's not working for money. It's just that
mm-hmm.
money usually
Mm-hmm.
buys freedom. That's why it's about money. But finally, people are working for freedom. So you can get freedom
Mm-hmm.
with this amount of money or this amount of money. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm. because the thing is freedom is also in terms of financial and in terms of your own mind also na? If you are thinking after getting that much amount of money, you are thinking more about money, then you are not free, because you're not free from your thoughts and all.
Right, of course, of course. Unless you're a scientist who's like inventing something new which will change humanity or will like save some nations from an atomic destruction, in that case, yeah,
Hmm.
it's beyond you. But in for
Hmm.
most people, it's just about having more money and more comfort and more freedom. So you can make a difference.
Hmm.
Like for example, if I'm writing, I can make an impact
Hmm.
on people through writing as well. I don't
Yeah,
need that
yeah.
much of money for that.
Hmm.
It's like,
So
you know,
why?
I like this
Yeah,
analogy
yeah.
where people can tell Shah Rukh Khan, right? What are you doing? You're
Hmm.
just dancing and you're
Hmm.
crying in Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Why should somebody
Hmm.
pay you X number of crores? Look at us. We are slogging, getting up, going by bus every day. No, man, he's an artist. He's telling the story. If he acted in Chak De India, does anybody know who is Mir Ranjan Negi, the actual guy who the movie is made on? You need a storyteller. You need a person who can present, who can engage the audience, and that is where Shah Rukh Khan's value comes. You can't go and tell him that
Hmm.
have you ever really played hockey in your life. So as a writer,
Hmm.
as a whatever is your art form, you can make as much of a difference as the actual person who has set the example.
Hmm. So there's a question then, why you are not thinking that your purpose could be uh change some of people's mind through your writing, or maybe to build a community to change their mindset and make a positive impact in their life through your writing, maybe write a book or make it more scalable. Or why do you think this is not your purpose and most your purpose is in lifestyle design?
It could very well be like I'm just in the starting stages of like thinking about monetizing writing as a permanent thing, but why not?
Mm-hmm.
I would like everything we've discussed today is awesome material, like the questions you asked, what my views are. Maybe if I ask you the same questions, you will also have like awesome answers. So if we simply capture this into micro chapters, or transcribe
Mm-hmm.
this podcast, it is already a book.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Makes
do it.
sense.
We can make a community around it. If you have the same beliefs, if we find other people who believe the same thing as us, they will stick around.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, the if I talk about my own thing here, so that for me I believe that I need to make people, not everyone, but build a community of people who can be independent in terms of making money and freedom wala thing, and independent in terms of your mental thought process wala thing. I am not saying I'm there, of course, but I want to be there in terms of independence. So I think people should have. Basically, I noticed in my friends and uh, a lot of my family members, they are not independent enough. Not only for money, they are not accountable enough in their own thing. They are, suppose in college, people say I need to get job from college. They are not thinking in terms of how I can get off campus placement, or by reaching out to other people. So I thought, okay, people
That
should
is,
be
you
more
know,
accountable.
that is a
Yeah.
beautiful opportunity. What you just said, okay, because
Hmm.
you're keeping it real basically when you say this. I'll tell you how that translates into purpose according to me. So we talk
Hmm.
about these funnels, right? There's a free product, paid product, blah blah blue. Okay, now a lot of people are moving from this product kind of a funnel to a community based model. Let's say you're a
Hmm.
writer, you're a ghostwriter, you write for founders. That's a service model. If you do digital products as the lower part of a funnel, that's the product model. There's this third option, which is the community model, where
Hmm.
let's say Udit Kundu has a community
Hmm.
where he is doing ghostwriting, he has digital products, blah blah. So writers are coming to him, writers or marketers or whatever. There'll be a certain persona, but the there's always like there are millions of writers, right? I am one, you are one. There's always writing plus your personal angle, your
Hmm.
beliefs, why we write personal stories and content. So let's say when we are deciding your positioning, you have writing at the base of it and you have this angle, freedom from decisions, right? So
mm,
if you take some other writers, they might be focused on revenue and the business side. Some might be focused on mindfulness. Some might be focused on, everybody has their own flavor for that particular thing. Like Shah Rukh Khan
mm,
is like more on the emotional side of actor. Hrithik Roshan is more body and dancing side of actor. Everyone is an actor in
mm,
the end. So when you bring that personal side, that theme to your community, and your community can mean even like workshops, the mindset part of the writing, the limiting beliefs part of
mm,
the writing. Okay, why don't
mhm,
people start writing? Because they have financial freedom issues. They have, their families don't have the priorities in place. They don't have the, it could be something as simple as people who are not aligned with their purpose. You're a writer who
mhm,
cares about purpose. If it's not with your purpose, go do your writing elsewhere. There are millions out there. So that your community and your tribe will come to you based on that. So it's what you just said is actually a gold mine of opportunity. It obviously doesn't come in one day, but then over time, as you keep talking about it through, like, let's say how we are discussing, or through your content, those kind of people will come to you. Those kind of people you'll
mm,
notice who personally connect with you, also your style also will keep engaging with you more. And I have noticed this because a lot of, I've made my mentor and my friends on social media. I've connected with them only because of that, because we have that
mhm,
same worldview apart from the writing part.
mm,
Someone
mm,
believes
makes
that
sense.
it's not correct to burn yourself out, and some people have certain approaches to creativity. I, I connect with them instantly, and I stick over there.
Mm,
I read every piece of information. I check out every
mm.
product. I buy the products which are good for me and I can afford. So you can form that community around your own beliefs.
Yeah, 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 got it. And this is the main goal, of course. And I think there are two kind of creators you can think. One could be uh one when audience, when people like us follow someone to solve their, to solve a specific problem in their life. It could be making money related, it could be how to learn writing related. But there are some creators where we can connect, or to whom we can connect for their ideas, for their big picture point of views. They are not solving directly your problem. Suppose they are talking about something but you are not facing that issue right now, but you like the whole idea of the brand. That's why you connect. Suppose many people connect with Nike, where they don't have money to purchase a Nike shoe, but they connect with the Nike story, Nike's vision. That's why maybe in the further down the line they can purchase a product of Nike. So yeah, I believe in that of branding overall.
Yeah, that's it. That's the main part. That's the emotional part of the branding. Absolutely.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. It's also true for Shah Rukh Khan, right? If you don't like his all of the movies, but you know his brand, and maybe you can like his other movie in future, something like that.
या मैं मुझे पिक्चर देखना है. आई वांट एंटरटेनमेंट.
Hmm.
मैं किसका पिक्चर देखेगा? शाहरुख खान का. क्यों? क्योंकि वो
Hmm.
आया था दिल्ली से, वो रेंट पे रह रहा था,
Hmm.
फिर वो ऑडिशन किया. आई बिलीव इन दैट. तो चलो.
Hmm.
Otherwise, maybe if I was not that type of person, I would not watch that movie. For entertainment, I would have gone to some other, some Deshum type of actor or something.
Hmm. So yeah, it's time to end the podcast right now. Almost, it's 1.5 hour. So how do you feel after the conversation? That's my last question for every guest.
I think this is one of the purposes why I show up online. Okay, apart from sharing
Hmm.
my thoughts, I'm so happy that we met. I hope one day soon we meet in person as well. And
Sure. You are from Mumbai, right?
Mumbai,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're from
sure.
Kolkata,
Yeah,
right?
not proper Kolkata, near Kolkata. Yeah,
Where exactly?
it's Murshidabad.
Oh, okay, nice,
Yeah.
sure. It's
So
I mean,
continue, continue.
we discussed some amazing things, technical,
Yeah.
about life, everything we covered, and it was super fun. You have an amazing, you're very patient, and you have an amazing like style. You have a open mind, and this is exactly the kind of people I want to surround myself with. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Uh, Anytime you feel that I can be of any help, do let me know. And let's continue sharing our ideas and sharing them with the world as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Thank you for coming also. And any feedback you want to give to improve any part you think it could be improved?
Uh, they can't. I mean, it was like a perfect podcast, the structure and everything. And from your point of view, like considering you're just you left your college and now you're figuring out your things, from that point of view, I think it was a superb thing. And I'm sure there are a lot of people, like, not maybe not left college or something, but who are in the figuring out phase. They would get a lot of kind of context कि हाँ ऐसे भी हो सकता है, ऐसे कर सकते हैं. So
Hmm.
I mean, it would be like really valuable. And nothing really in terms of feedback. I think it's this kind of information what we discussed is up there among the best who we see out there. So no feedback
Yeah,
as such.
except from numbers.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, sure, of course.
The
So
quality
yeah,
is the same.
yeah, 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 definitely. Like Danko said, na, if you are not, if you are in beginner stage, also your brand should look like you have 1 million followers, something like that.
Yeah, start somewhere. Just if you
Hmm.
like it, just do it. No problem.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Let's stop the recording and